The Gridiron is sponsored by Rothman Orthopedic.
Welcome to this week's edition of The Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chad Brubaker. Springford secured its spot with a 2014 defeat over Cumberland Valley. Coach, congratulations. And, after last week's show, I was walking out of here. I'm like, I think I might have jinxed him. I felt like at the end of last week's show, I was like, and we'll be back next week to preview the District 1 playoffs. But, pre-call on the win before it out there. And at some point during the game, it was a game that was in question. You were trailing for the first time all year long, a lot of things. So I was like, as I was watching the game on RCTV and following on Twitter, I'm like, hopefully I didn't jinx these guys.
You have to be careful with that.
I know. I'm totally on, it's like in golf. We were talking a little bit about golf.
Right.
Like, don't talk to my golf ball while it's still in motion. Like, you can cause it to go out of the hole, bounce into a bunker. Wait till it's all done and say, good shot, good putt. But don't talk to it in the middle of the thing right there.
Right.
So once again, I wanted to mini apologize for mini jinxing it, but you guys found a way to get it done on Friday night.
Yeah, our defense played very well again. In fact, the two touchdowns that they scored one was on a fourth down play, and we talked about this after the game. We need to really focus on situational football. Like, if it's 4th and 15 and you are in coverage, make the tackle. Don't go for the pick.
Yeah.
Right? Just make the tackle right there.
Then
the other score they had was a blown coverage on a blitz. But I want to say that was a third down play as well, which would have probably become a field goal attempt. Defensively, we played well except for a couple key breakdowns. Offensively, we were really, there's no other way to say it. We were awful in short yardage situations. And it's astounding to me. I
see just shaking your head and you're constantly talking to
It's astounding to me just at this point in the season that we can't, the issues are mental issues.
Yeah.
And
go ahead. We finish.
I don't know what to, we're at our wits' end with it. We draw it up exactly as it's going to be. And
I feel like we've had this conversation. We talked a little bit about it here. And you talked about situational football. You talked a little bit on last week's show. And I'm sure you devote practice to it. I'm saying, all right, we're going to come up with a coaching staff. We're going to use XYZ situational football. And we're going to talk about to the kids, all right, if we have this is what we want to get into, offensively, defensively. Is that something you feel needs to be a bigger emphasis now?
It just needs to be a bigger emphasis. Like, us just yelling out 3rd and 7 doesn't mean you've worked on situational football. Mm-hmm. You said it. You have to talk about it a little bit. And, it was the same situation on offense. It's, 3rd and long, we want to throw, but we want to make it a very simple throw. We want to make it a very safe throw, make it an RPO if all else goes wrong. But, we want you to throw the ball. So there's different things like that were just like, and, and that's largely on the quarterback, situational football. Of course, the running back too, and some, don't stick the ball out. We don't want to. We'd rather possess the ball than take a chance. Some things like that. So,
all right, I'm going to give you a hard-hitting question here a little bit then too. So it's in the game. We have an opportunity. I feel like to close it out, and I'm watching it. Is there a discussion amongst the staff with you and staff about? I know we're get play-ins, make a read, and go. Is there even talking about using the whole 40 seconds of a play clock a little bit too? Because once again, I think they talk about, you see that in NFL and college, hey, first down here, they're going to knee on it, that sort of thing. And I think it's a change from what you've done in the past where it's tempo, it's quick, it's different.
We were using the clock a lot more, especially in the fourth quarter. Sometimes there's a happy medium between, if you're used to a certain thing and you change it, sometimes the anxiety levels go up or whatever. We were utilizing more time. We were kind of controlling that by sending the play in a little bit later. Where I was disappointed in myself on Friday night is we were moving the ball and having success by being by variety, mixing in play action, mixing in RPO, mixing in three-step. And then as the game wore on, that's the issue. The issue is, it's all well and good. We can slow down our play as long as we're getting first downs.
But if you're not getting first
But if you're not getting first downs, it doesn't matter how long. I mean, it does and it doesn't. You waste a lot more clock getting a first down than you do utilizing the whole play clock. And so that's the key, running good plays where you can continue to move the ball and get a first down. Now, we had a couple times, we didn't score on a 4th and goal. We got a touchdown called back again. Some of those things are, really frustrating. Obviously, we should have had at least 28 points, in that game, if not more. But give them credit.
Yeah.
Cumberland Valley was a great game for us from a number of different facets. One being they play, although they're more spread, they use a fullback and run downhill right at you, and our defense held up pretty well to that.
And I think just for you to be in a game too, because once again, you really hadn't been in a game.
Well, we've been in some games,
0-0 at halftime, but I'm saying just all right, once you get the idea of that situational football, what do we got to do here in this situation? One quick thing here before we do highlights. It was interesting to hear you say about play calling for you a little bit too, because I felt, once again, maybe calling games, seeing your games, it was always a guess for me. First, it looks like a run play and you're throwing the ball. It looks like a pass play and you're running the ball. For you to say I'm getting complacent, not complacent,
conservative.
Yes.
I thought in the second half, especially the fourth quarter, end of the third and the fourth quarter, I thought we were too conservative. And if we got a first down or two, I probably wouldn't be saying that. But you have to get that. You have to move the chains, and if you move the chains, now you can really slow down. But you got to get that. Especially you got to get that first down. That first down is such a key.
I think once again we're talking about here. I think because you're seeing it more, you're seeing people on TV talk about the end of football games so much more in today's, maybe as opposed to 5, 6, 7 years ago. The whole idea of, all right, we're going to use timeouts, but you're not going to use timeouts. We're going to run it here. We're going to punt it away and give it a chance. I think it's just more prevalent today than, or you're talking about it more. You're talking about it more.
People are.
Yes.
And they're analyzing it more.
Yes.
Maybe. I think that, it's also because of the hurry-up offenses and tempo offenses too, because that wasn't really, even if you were hurrying in the 80s, you still used some of you didn't have just one-word play calls and everybody knows what's going on like you do today. So.
All right, Coach. Well, good stuff right there. Great insight. I feel like I'm getting to some real hard-hitting questions on this year's the Gridiron here for you. All right.
You always do.
I don't know about always.
You're a hard-hitting journalist.
Yeah, that's it. I did a lot of schooling, a lot of education going into these type of questions. I just
you do a great job.
I read what other people write and I just kind of take from what they write. So, all right, let's take a look at the offensive highlights from Springford, Cumberland Valley.
Gridiron highlights are sponsored by Heaps Landscaping.
You're going to see the same colors this Friday night, right?
We are. Yeah, I don't know if they have. I forget if they have red pants, but here's a big play for us. This is just a quick. It is technically an RPO. We can hand this off.
You can hand this off.
We can hand this off.
On the jet, you're saying.
But you see the good action that we had there, and then we come down and block that outside backer, and we make a corner safety tackle, Josh, which is a really nice play for us. This was a huge play. This was a 4th down play. Ryan does a great job. He's reading 44 here. So 44 comes down, and he does a great job with a fake, and then Colton Kashira catches it and gets down inside the 15-ish yard line. So here's another. This is a really nice run by Andrew Yoon. This is designed to go outside.
Patience looks like, too, from him.
Yeah, it's designed to go outside. You see Kyle Kennedy pull and then kick that kid out, and then Andrew tucks in behind him. It's a really nice job. We're getting better at running outside like that. Here's our first touchdown. We ran a little reverse.
Chickeration?
A little reverse to Andrew Yoon. Watch, pre-snap, You see that kid, great job by Corey Fiore there, even though he ended up on the ground, just washing that kid down. That's a kid that could have messed that play up. And here we are on the goal line now. Again, we were struggling to get the ball, inside the box into the end zone. So we just ran outside here, and everybody did his job. And that's not the same play. Well, there's the struggle. So there you go. There's the struggle. And we were struggling here.
Here you are going under center.
We went under center and just ran the quarterback sneak. Great job here by Ryan Freed. He's walking up and he's pointing and he's yelling things out and he's saying this and he's saying that. And, did a good job of kind of selling that he wasn't.
Going under center.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm sure like that's what you're saying, like short yardage situations. Put it more in the arsenal is what that type of plays like that is what you got to be thinking about, and coaching staff is what you're saying too a little bit, right?
Well, we are as an offensive staff, we are reevaluating our approach to short yardage. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
There is when and again, we have to do a better job as a coaching staff, but the players have to do a better job in terms of listen, everything. Coach Strickler does an amazing job putting up these are the possible fronts. We have concepts where we say no matter what, whoever we call out, that's who's not being blocked. So then it makes it easier. Like in other words, if there's somebody lined up on me on my outside shoulder and the quarterback says that's who we're not blocking or that's who someone else is, we tell the offensive line that either we're responsible, the backfield's responsible, or we're not even blocking that kid. So then in my head, that's pretty easy, right? I don't have to block this kid. Well, I'm going to come down, double team up to the backer. And we're just not doing it for whatever reason. I've talked the past couple weeks about communication, and I don't know. There's no excuse that it's too loud in the stadium.
No, you can't use that when they
excuse that way. So.
All right, Coach. Well, good stuff right there. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk defense, all right?
Okay.
All right, stay tuned through the commercial break, and we will go over the defensive highlights from Springford, Cumberland Valley. Welcome back to the Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chad Brubaker. Coach, we talked about it last week. I know it's all the public here, too. We're talking announcements here. Girls tennis, state champions. Pretty cool thing for them, right?
State champions. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to see success in the athletic department, beyond the league. And, that was something, I don't know, if Coach Reagan felt like they were state contenders, he kind of kept it under his belt for a while.
Well, I think once again, he got some new freshmen that help out, and tennis is one of those sports where freshmen can help you out a little bit right there. And you just kind of, you found a way to.
That was awesome.
I saw Coach Reagan on Sunday, little congratulations for him, and talking about it, and I was like, it was like a whirlwind for him. And the crazy thing about it is our boys and girls teams have made district tennis, but neither boys or girls team had ever won a district match before.
Right.
So going from never winning thing to a state title is
Coach Reagan brings a different approach to girls tennis. We walk out past there the one day, and he got upset because some of the girls were not responding to some of the directives, and they had a penalty to pay.
Yeah.
It's
not all rainbows and butterflies out there.
I don't think you see that at the local country club.
No.
Just saying.
Yeah,
there's more discipline, and let's go.
Yeah. So congratulations! Then had a little parade coming back here.
Yeah.
And, so that's a cool thing for the girls tennis. So there's our announcements. And once again, I was talking about the game last week, and the two kids just holding an iPad last week. So once again, I was like, "Where's the score? What's going on?"
Right.
Those kids did a great job, but we're doing full production this week here, and you can watch this week's District 1 game against Souderton on Springford's YouTube channel.
Yeah, those guys, I think they had some technical difficulties. I saw, some people making comments, and those kids were doing that. Like, obviously, they're there they're there because they want to be there,
yes.
Right? And RCTV couldn't do their normal great production, so expect back to normal. The greatness that we are here in the RCTV
Yeah, got
studios.
permission from District 1 so they can show the game here on Friday night against Souderton. So, announcements done. We gave kudos to girls tennis. We've talked about the game. Anything other Springfield football-wise, or we're ready to talk defense?
We can talk defense.
All right, so we talked about it last week. I was saying, hey, this defense is going to be able to keep teams shut out forever, and they get a score. And like you said, it's one of those scores where it kind of felt like something in the past where like trouble getting off the field, giving up a big fourth down, but kudos to your defense. They responded to a little adversity a little bit.
Yeah, they were fine. The quarterback extended some plays with his legs. There were at least 2 or 3 situations where I thought we had a sack and kind of didn't keep our lane discipline on our pass rush. And, he extended some plays. And on that drive, too, before the 4th down. And then extended a play in the second half and threw deep. We came out of coverage. But for the most part, our kids, they didn't have 200 yards of offense. So anytime you have 200 yards or less of offense, you've done a pretty good job defensively. And the other thing I would say is, like, we have offensive goals and defensive goals that we have each week. They're standardized and they're up outside the locker room. Obviously, we haven't been able to go in the locker room.
They're
but
papers, the things you're handing them out,
we
yeah.
tell the kids. And last week, I don't recall a time where we have won a game and have not achieved any of our offensive goals. But when you achieve your defensive goals, that can cover up some of that stuff.
Offensive stuff.
That was unprecedented. Winning a game and not achieving any of your offensive goals. So that's just a tip of the cap to the defense and the defensive staff for, hanging in there throughout the night. Coach Mick, there were a couple times where, Coach Mick was fired up. He saw a guy miss a tackle or a missed assignment and let guys know about it. And that's going to happen here and there. You don't want it to happen in whatever week we're in, but it's going to happen, and you hope that other guys can either cover it up and make a play or it doesn't hurt you.
I think if I'm doing the stats right, this team's averaging, they're only allowing 7 points a game for the season. If I math,
Well, 40 divided by 7.
40. They only have 40. So I mean,
think.
less than 7 points a game. If 6
Right.
games, right?
Yeah.
6
So
times
we're
7,
at
42.
5.7, let's say.
No, higher. The 6 points something or another. 40 points.
Well,
in
6
games.
times 7 would be 42.
Yeah. So we're less than 7. Oh, it's less than guys. I'm thinking you're playing 7 games out there. You have only
Like 5.7-ish.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll take that.
And past couple of games, we've also had some blocked field goals. We've had some blocked punts, so you're getting some big plays out of your special teams a little bit too.
Yeah, and punt return, Joe Brogan had a really shaky game the previous week and came back, and he's been great for 2 years, just in terms of calling for a fair catch. There was one, I thought maybe he could have called for a fair catch, and it bounced down to the 1, but he was, in his head, that was going into the end zone. So, you have to use some judgment there. But he's done really well with that, and we can't underestimate that. We're still kickoff team, kickoff return, we did well. Kickoff team, still working out some bugs. Every week you see a different type of kickoff team or kickoff return team. So, I think we have some things straightened out there too. So
that's always been a big thing in this program too. The success has been you've been really good on special teams, and once again you're seeing. And once you talked about punt returning, high school football is such huge. Just catching the ball.
Just catch the ball.
Just catch it. Don't let it
Last
bounce
year-
and roll
yeah.
15, 20 yards.
Last year, Joe Brogan had 15 fair catches, which I'm sure is a Springford record. It's not something that we've
Just
ever
go
kept,
catch
but I
it.
guarantee it's a Springford record. The other thing, by the way, which was huge, Josh Hellauer had kind of his first kind of real whiff and only punted the ball out to about the 30-ish. And then we were in a punting situation again, and he boomed one, and the kid didn't catch it.
And it rolls.
And it rolled a little bit and set us up for the final, ending the game.
End of the game. Yeah. All right, Coach. Let's take a look at the defensive highlights from Springford, Cumberland Valley.
Gridiron highlights are sponsored by Heaps Landscaping.
So this was relatively early, and we saw this play numerous times on film, and we were just not going to get beaten by it. You see, we were prepared. Zach Marinello comes up and just cuts it off and lets everybody pursue inside out.
Now they're going to give it on the jet.
Going to give it, and we make it cut back again. And when we make it cut back, guys are there. You see Zach Marinello blitzing on the play, and then we just have good pursuit there. Mason Brill in on the play. Now, we came off the edge here. This is one of the ones where, this kid did a nice job. We come off the edge unblocked, and, right there on the backside is the defensive end. I think it was Josh Hellauer made the play.
You see how the long sleeve, forget it was cold Friday night, Coach.
It was cold.
And they try
This
and throw a
was
little
an
screen
interception here by Horvath. I forgot to tease him that the quarterback knocked him that
How
hard
does he
out
not
of
get
bounds.
in there?
Well, there was a penalty on the play. Honestly, they called a penalty, and it wasn't. If you look here, like Schaefer is definitely in front of the guy. But,
Here he's trying to make a play with his legs.
Yeah, and we basically, it's close to a sack there because, but, he saw Josh Hellauer coming off and recognized that or felt that and had to take off. And then here is near the end of the game, we have an interception by Nick Teets. And Coach Rodenbaugh was yelling, "Get down, get down," into my ear. Nick couldn't hear him. But
Right, doesn't want to fumble. Yeah, he doesn't want to give him a
yeah,
fumble.
it was near the end of the game, and sometimes that can happen if you try to be too aggressive on the return. But, he did eventually get down, and then we could then finish off the game.
That was the end of it, right? Did they get it
no,
back?
No, they got it back.
That's right. And then,
We
but
couldn't
they had like 70 yards. It was a massive field where they had to
Yeah.
get or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. The regular season, postseason football, it's what you guys play for, right?
That's right.
All right, District 1 playoffs, all right? All right, make sure you stay tuned through the commercial break, and we will preview the District 1 6A playoffs. Welcome back to the Gridiron. I'm your host, John Brown, with the head coach, Chad Brubaker. All right, Coach, 6A playoff football time. Usually it's a field of 16 this year. It's only a field of 4. You're one of the 4 to get in. You did fall from 1 to 2, kind of as you predicted a little bit out there. But you're still going to host this first-round game, and your opponent, Souderton.
Yes.
And the other game, Penridge is the 1, and 4 is Coatesville, correct?
That's right, yep.
So those are the 4 that have made District 6A playoffs. And we're going to have a little 4-game bracket here. And
Yeah, you win one and you're in the district finals.
and there's no neutral site, so the better seed still hosts the district final. So
True.
you win, Coatesville wins, you're going to host. You win,
Good
Penridge wins, you're going to Penridge for that district final.
That's true.
All right, so Souderton, obviously a formidable opponent, and you're going to see something from them offensively we really don't see a lot of, correct in this?
Yeah, that's correct. The closest we see to that is part of what Boyertown does, but for the most part, we don't really see that. Cumberland Valley used to be,
This type
wing
of-
T, but no, we don't see this. So, in terms of challenges, there's 2 main challenges this week. The first one is they're much bigger than we are up front on both sides of the ball, and offensively they run wing T, which is a deception offense. They do some other things, but that's their bread and butter, so to speak. And we have to be very well versed in where to align and also where our fit is defensively in the run game. So,
All right, so
they're a running team. They're a running team.
They
They've
want to
thrown-
control the clock. They want to like
They've
3-4
owned- yeah.
yards, 3-4 yards. That's what their plan is.
Although
gonna
they've
be.
had a ton of big plays.
And but again, you lose assignment. We're going to talk here assignment football a little bit. You lose assignment, it can turn into big stuff against
Yeah.
a team like this too.
Absolutely. And so they have the same outside noise criticism that we have is, they play in the second biggest division or the third biggest division in the suburban one in terms of total population. So, they've gotten a little criticism for, they haven't played North Penn, Neshaminy, Penridge. Obviously, they haven't played them. But, they get the same, pushback that we do. So, we don't really care about that. Like, we've tried to
sure they don't
schedule
care. They're
and
just
they don't
gonna- they're
care.
gonna
We're
go
just
play.
happy to be here. And I think it's going to be interesting no matter how it works out. The district championship, whoever wins will have beaten a team that beat a team that beat a team that beat a team that beat a team. So no one else can really,
make those accusations.
Correct.
Before we start doing highlights here, You've talked wing T here. Once again, for the football, we don't see it every day. Explain what a wing T offense is trying to accomplish and what type of personnel. You're not going to see 4 receivers. You're going to see the H-back, essentially, like that type of thing.
Yeah,
Fullbacks,
so,
right?
Yes, fullback, right. So the wing T is dropped. The original name was made famous by
Oklahoma?
Delaware.
No, Blue Hens?
Delaware wing T.
Okay.
And Tubby Raymond.
All right.
And basically, at some point, the Delaware was dropped off and become wing, especially when Delaware doesn't do it anymore. But the wing T. So basically, what you have is you have an offense that utilizes a tight end and a wing. Their base set, if you would say, would be a tight end wing situation on one side, a receiver split in on the other side, and then a teed backfield where you have basically a fullback,
quarterback, fullback, halfback,
and then the other halfback, behind the tackle. And so what that does is it creates situations where the wing will oftentimes come into motion behind, and then the fullback will dive, and then we can run sweep this way. I was trying to explain to the kids that the wing T is a very formulaic or menu-based offense. So you'll see a fullback dive. Then you'll see the belly where the fullback will lead. Then you'll see the sweep. Then you'll see the waggle, which is basically bootleg. So if you stop the fullback, then the belly's coming.
Thing.
If you stop the belly, then because now you're spending too much time here, now they're going to get outside. If you stop that, well, you're spending too much time over here, so they're going to boot back away from it. Is essentially kind of a really base way of.
Yeah, once again, you want to take away this, we're going to go do this over here, and you want to take that away, we'll go do this over here.
And they do other things too, but like I said, that's their bread and butter. That's exactly right.
Bread and butter. I say meat and potatoes. Your bread and butter. Okay, yeah.
Actually, I should say try to be more of a paleo, no carb guy. So instead of saying bread and butter,
say meat and no potatoes.
Meat and butter. Meat and grass-fed butter.
All right, let's take a look at Souderton on offense.
All right, so there you see the wing. Now this is actually an unbalanced set, which means that kid that just came in motion this is the first play against Ben Salem. So as far as 3 and 4 yards,
untouched here, this kid is too.
Yeah.
And you're going to see, basically, we're going to see a lot of motion out of them, right, too?
Right.
And it's motion not like this where it's jet, but they're going to reset. They're going to try and create an unbalanced line with that motion too, right, Coach?
Right. They will at times, and obviously you see the quarterback, they faked the motion.
Late flag.
Giving it to the receiver, and the quarterback ran. So that's not a wing T thing, but
right, because he's not under center
here. Wing T principles. And here you go again. Yeah, so they'll get out behind. They'll get out in a shotgun. They're not always under the center.
Now here they are. Looks like short yardage jumbo package.
This is wing right tight, and this is wing T counter.
Going the other way with the fullback. Nobody's on the backside.
Yeah. And this is hold on, let me see. I can't see the TV real well. This is tackle over. All right, so they were unbalanced there and just kind of ran.
Lead with the fullback right there.
Yeah, exactly. There you see it. There's the basic wing T formation, and they're running belly to the wing side, and yeah, that's not 3 or 4 yards either. So again, they're big up front, and they have some good athletes. They do have very similar philosophy in terms of us, in terms of playing guys 1.5 ways. So in terms of their defense, like we were saying, well, this kid's the outside linebacker, and we're like, no, this kid. So they rotate well, is what I guess I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, they're using their guys,
their roster,
their best guys in one capacity and a little bit in the other capacity too.
Exactly.
All right, what are you going to see from defensively?
So primarily a 4-3. So that's a good thing playing Cumberland Valley. We're going to see very similar defense. A lot of times they're in quarters coverage. They will play some other coverages, cover 2. They will jump to a 3-4, mostly in like 3rd and longs, but other times during the game as well. And so we're going to have to identify that. They are aggressive, and their safeties make plays, much like Cumberland Valley. Probably their safety is their overall best player, who also plays running back and wide receiver. Wide receiver. Well, there's another one that plays. The safeties are very good. Let's just say that. And then the other safety, their quarterback plays a little bit too at safety. So much like Cumberland Valley last week. So it's a great test for us, and we're going to go from there.
All right, let's check out Cumberland Valley on defense.
All right, so you can see there that they are in a 4-3 with the mic over the center.
Nothing going here.
Yeah. This is one where you just turn it up, get -1, and you'll take it.
You know, as we're watching here, I always ask, what film did you guys get from Souderton? What games?
The last 3. We changed the last 3.
Okay,
And
don't you have a choice here in districts you can ask for?
You do, but like this is a weird year, you know.
Okay, yeah, 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Just keep saying it's just 2020.
So there they didn't block the nose. Here you see they are in their 3-4 up front. This was later in the game and they don't block the nose. You got to block the nose. But,
it's an important thing in football.
It is. All right, here they're back in their 4-3. You see with the mic right over the center. And this was actually like really early in the game. And whoops.
See you the other way.
See you the other way. So, and that's the last 2 games early on. They had a fumble. I think in the first drive, the opponent's first drive, they had a pick 6 there and a fumble recovery picked up for a touchdown too. So they're
scoop and
opportunistic.
score, they say sometimes.
Yeah, they do say that. So they're opportunistic that way as well. So.
All right, Coach. Well, man, sounds like it's going to be an exciting game here Friday night.
Well, I've known Coach Gallagher for a long time, so we're both PSFCA. And Josh Oswalt from Cumberland Valley is a PSFCA rep in District 3, and Coach Gallagher is a former president of PSFCA, so I've known him for a long time. So it's going to be, we haven't played each other, at least in my time.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I forgot to look up if Souderton and Springford ever played. We'll have to look that up.
Tweet
it's
that
on
out.
Our website.
Tweet it out.
It's on our website.
Send some tweets.
www.spring-fordfootball.net. You can look up
and we're going to get
all the history of Springford
You'll
football.
tweet the link to the game then too from RCTV.
I will retweet that
RCTV's
link out, of course.
Okay, yep.
And if there's any other media covering the game, we'll retweet that out as we always do.
Temperature looks nice though Friday night.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Not cold.
As long
not a
as
cold
there's
November.
no wind, we'll be in great shape.
Oh, low winds this weekend. Like it's going to be like non-factored wind. I check out the forecast now.
I
for
appreciate
you, Coach.
that.
I don't know that.
Thank you.
Did you hot hands? Did you go hot hands for Friday night and under the gloves or no hot hands?
No, just gloves.
No hot hands.
Just gloves. Yeah.
You ever do the hot hands under the gloves?
Coach Nestle brought in a case of the hot hands. Like a case. I don't know if he
hot hands are amazing though. Are you not? I
have them. I didn't try it Friday. I didn't think
try it. If you want super hot hands, you put the hot hands in the gloves and then just go crazy like that. Or the hot hands in the pockets and you put your hands in the pockets, you get warm that way too.
I got a signal, so I don't know. Would they fall out?
Okay, yeah. I don't listen. No, I mean not if there's some elastic on the.
Yeah.
I think it'd stay in, Coach.
Interesting.
All right. Best of luck to you and the crew Friday night. Make sure you tune in next week as we recap the game with Souderton. For the head coach, Chad Brubaker, I'm John Brennan. See you next time on the Gridiron.